New numbers released by the U.S. Border Patrol this week showing the number of migrants seeking to cross illegally is plummeting. Just over 58,000 migrants attempting to cross in August. That's less than half the number of the over 180,000 who tried to cross in August last year. As some pointing to President Biden's June executive order limiting the number of migrants who can seek asylum as the source of the good news. But thousands still streaming into the U.S. illegally. States are still seeking ways to stem the migrant tide. Joining us now is the mayor of Yuma, Arizona, Douglas Nicholls. So glad you're here today. You have such great perspective on this, Mayor. The Border Patrol is reporting these plummeting migrant numbers, but how does that match with what you're seeing in your community? What can you tell us?
Well, we definitely have a reduction in traffic across the border. There could be a lot of reasons for that, but the numbers are down in the Yuma sector this year, and it's coming close to the end of the fiscal year. So we're at about 53,000 people that have crossed this year in total. However, it's all about perspective, because if you go back to the last year of the Trump administration, our yearly total was 8,000. So still a dramatic 7 times difference on what we're talking about between today and 4 years ago.
You know, the numbers may be falling, but you've still got thousands of illegal migrants making their way across the border. So what has Yuma been doing to deal with the strain? Because whenever we look at those pictures of people coming across and you see them streaming in, you can't help but wonder, where is everybody going? So what's it like where you are?
Well, what's very fortunate is our Border Patrol here does an amazing job. All those people you see coming across, generally they turn themselves right in unless they're a cartel member or they're carrying drugs. But the average migrant is looking to get through the system so that they can get some sort of status in the United States. But the reason why Yuma sector particularly is low is our Border Patrol, as well as the U.S. Attorney for this area, are really focusing on the expedited removals, returning people back to their home countries quickly. So there's very few percentage-wise that are actually being released through the Yuma sector.
You know, the Biden administration is claiming that the falling numbers are the result of the executive order regarding asylum seekers issued in June. Do you agree with that?
I think that is one element, definitely. That's something that myself, as well as a lot of mayors and leaders along the southern border, have asked for the last 3 years, is an executive order in which we were always told that it had to come from Congress and the administration couldn't do it. Obviously, the administration could do it. Fortunately, they waited 3.5 years to do it. But I think that's part of what has changed. There's other things, such as Mexico itself is not allowing people coming through as quickly as they have been in the past. They're returning them to the southern border. They're not repatriating them, so they're just taking longer to get to the northern border. And then you also have some conflict within the cartel itself, and they are infighting, and so that's causing some disruption of what they consider their business.
You know, when we talk about these numbers of illegal crossings going down and the number of asylum seekers not dropping, what do you worry that the executive order is just delaying that issue? Is that what you're thinking? What a surge in migrants crossing is inevitable? What do you think about that?
Well, I do think it is temporary. Executive orders are meant to be temporary until Congress can kind of get some things fixed, which we know isn't going to happen anytime soon. That's probably years of activity that Congress is going to have to engage in. But for right now, executive orders are important because they can be modified as needed, as the flows change. And so I think it's a critical part. It's a strong tool all the previous administrations have used to manage the border with the existing laws that are on the books. So this administration is in the same situation in a lot of ways that previous administrations have been, in that the laws are the same. It's the policies and the executive orders that come out enforcing those laws that are critical in managing the uniqueness of the border.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.